really develops and really does rely solely on their visions to do is to eliminate as much cold reading as possible from a reading. Now, there are hardcore skeptics out there who insist that any accurate hit, any kind of psychic reading that makes any sense or does hit on something true is either guesswork or cold reading. And that's just a ridiculous accusation to make because you have to look at so many of the hits that are just beyond statistical probability to guess, which they don't do. They don't get into it that far. So yeah, cold reading is basically picking up cues on a person without meaning to, and it's something that even gifted psychic will do by accident. So it's something that can't be eliminated because we're human beings.
Well, is there how many other travel destinations did you mention to Andrew other than Florida and Australia that were not hits?
Those are the only two that were mentioned to me, the Florida and the Australia trip.
So you mentioned 2 travel destinations, and Bing, he then immediately he had the opportunity to go to Florida, and then Andrew's mom was talking about Australia. I mean, it just seems like those were 2 hits, and there were no non-hits there.
That's right, and if I could just ask now, Andrew, did you have any other travel opportunities other than that, like outside of the reading?
Not as of yet, but I mean, the reading was done a month ago, so...
Yeah.
Again, this was only said, like, the Australia trip was to come in the next 2 to 4 years. So who's to say I might not have a trip in the next 10 years, going to Europe or something like that? It never came up. So.
Yeah, it hasn't come up yet. And if people look up my name, do a search on YouTube, you'll get some clips of me on television in Canada. And in one show I did, I was doing a reading on a young lady, and I had told her that she will go to California in May, and then I stopped myself and said, no, I think it's June. And what's interesting, after she had told on camera, she had an interview after her reading, and she had explained that her original plan was to go in May, and then she ended up having to go in June. And that's all since happened, because that was filmed in April, and now the summer has gone by. So what's interesting to look at is I will even pick up on sort of what the plan was and how it changed and stuff unwittingly, because I just sort of, I don't know why I saw May, and then I got the feeling to stop, and then I got June really clear. So it was like May, no, June. So it really actually turned into a big accurate statement. But I'm just relaying images as I get them.
Well, okay.
Interesting.
Well, the one thing I know... How do I even say this? Maybe I should... Well,
say it in Latin.
I don't know how to speak Latin, dude.
Oh.
I can't...
I'm Portuguese.
See, I have to apologize, bro, because I'm still trying to get over this $25 for 2 boxes of cereal thing. So I'm a little off kilter right now.
I thought we were, like, on a roll.
I'm just thinking about all the horrible things I'm going to say to Amber after the show.
If I turn up missing.
Yeah, if you turn... Yeah, she... Okay, sorry about that. No. Well, no, and I know... As far as cold reading is concerned, and in regards to that, and I think it's Doug, take over.
Well, it is.
I'm recovering from last night's. That's my excuse. I'm sticking with it.
It is true that us humans get information in many different ways, right? We get information, visually, audioly, or whatever. Audibly, that's it. Through smell, through hopefully not taste. I mean, if you go to a psychic and she or he starts licking you,
I'm convinced she's got the gift.
But you get this information this way, and you've learned over the years to watch your peripheral vision, to to try and pay attention to important things, and of course your body will let you know when danger is imminent, through things that you don't even pay attention to.
Well, body language. I didn't mean to cut you off, but with the body language thing concerning cold reading, I mean, I find myself doing this a lot nowadays. I mean, and I find, as I thought about the whole cold reading process, and I mean, here's a good example. I mean, you know me, Doug. When I talk to a person, I'm looking at them. I have to be looking at them. I need their attention to talk to them. Amber's notorious for that with me, because she likes to go and work on something and I'll be talking to her and she'll be like, and her tongue, she'll be drooling on herself or whatever, and I'll start screaming, going, look at me, I'm trying to talk to you, right?
That's an attractive picture you painted. Yeah.
I'm just getting her back for this $25 cereal thing, right? Your voice
yeah,
is
and so you get information by.
But no, but my point is that there's some people that I look right through them when I'm talking to them, and they can't do that. They can't look me in the. I mean, I pick up on these cues also like that, right? And I think as far as cold reading is concerned, that that's kind of. Am I on the right track? I guess that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is that Andrew might be able to attest to this because Andrew's a pretty good-looking guy, and I wasn't really looking at him the whole time. That's how my readings are. I don't really look at people. I don't know. Did you notice that about me, Andrew, when I was doing the reading at all, or?
Yeah, actually, for majority of the reading that you did have your eyes closed for it. Actually, I just thought it looked like because you were trying to concentrate harder, that you had your eyes closed. And, like, the difference between you and, like, the psychics I've gone to is, like, you've got the tea leaf readings, or you can go and get your palm read, or you can go and get, like, your tarot cards done, and you just kind of sat there and just started feeding the information to me without any, like, outside help.
Yeah, and no gimmickry, no tea leaves, nothing. I just sit there really with my head sort of down and my eyes closed, and I'll look up once in a while so that they don't think I've fallen asleep, really. But I used to do readings at people's backs. When I first started out, I actually would sit a person in front of me on a stool and run my hands over their back, almost as if I was giving a massage. Now, this was back when I was 16 years old, and I was still very self-conscious about my looks. But that really does say a lot toward cold reading. Also, the skeptics will insist that cold reading is something that isn't so innocently done, and that it's a thing that a psychic knows they're doing. And I don't understand how a 16-year-old would have been able to tell a person their father's name. And I mean, this is not like who's John. This was your father is John. This is how it comes through me. I try to be very concise and very specific with the information because you have to. I have clients who are. I've done readings for judges. I have lawyers. I've even have medical doctors who see me. So they won't let me get away with cold reading or generalizations. It's just not something I'm allowed to do.
Well, I want you to be very careful because if you're giving a reading for somebody down in Decatur, Illinois.
Yeah, I don't touch them anymore.
Good. No, somebody's grandmother or great-grandmother's name is Lugard.
Oh, yeah.
Watch out for that. Lougard. We saw it on a headstone. We're like, oh, my gosh, it's a really unfortunate
Can
name.
I ask you this also, bro, concerning the cold reading thing? I'm bringing it back again. I don't care because I think it's ridiculous.
Well, how do you know? Are there signs that you can tell? I mean, if you're sitting there and you lay down your $20 or whatever,
my thing is
you want to know about things.
Stating the obvious that really is kind of. And I'm wondering if this is part of the cold reading process or if it's. I mean, I don't know. My point being is that I not too long ago, a couple months ago, I was watching a psychic do, she was doing a presentation, and people around the crowd were asking questions to her, and one of the ladies asked, she was pregnant, right? And she said, I'm pregnant, can you please talk to my child? And so she's like, okay. And she comes over to the lady and puts her hand on her stomach and gets on one knee, and she says, your child says, love me unconditionally. To which I nearly fell out of the chair, wanted to just crack up. It's like that is obvious. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do with your children is love them unconditionally. Does anybody disagree with me on that?
Maybe I would have said it to the crowd, but I guess that woman wouldn't have said it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah.
So I mean, it's something that you can't. You're right. It is very general and vague a lot of the time, and I don't think you can talk to a baby, and I'm not so sure you can talk to animals as much as you can feel and sense what the child would, maybe the gender, maybe what the child might be like what parent they may be a lot like. I make predictions about that often. But yeah, it's one of those things. There's a lot of people who are very genuine and they believe that what they do is real, but they may not be the most developed mediums. And by that I mean to develop, you really have to be skeptical yourself and you have to put yourself to the challenge. Like when I have clients coming into me, I don't allow them to ask any questions. When they book a reading with me, I've actually had a person who came